Welcome to CS Design Studio's presentation, The Marketing Corner, with co-host Sean Campbell and Wyatt Chambers. The Marketing Corner is your source for the latest and greatest in today's world of marketing and entrepreneurship. And now, without further ado, it's Sean Campbell and Wyatt Chambers.
And this is episode 2 of the CS Design Studios Marketing Corner with yours truly, Sean Campbell. We got CEO and founder of CS Design Studios, Wyatt Chambers. How you doing, Wyatt?
Doing great. Great day today.
Yep. And just to preface, I'm going to apologize to a handful of people that I promised was going to be the first guest on the show. I want to take the bullet for us, Wyatt. It's all my fault. But how can we not have Gordy from Login as our first guest?
Who doesn't know Gordy, first of all?
I don't know. But I think we're going to play off his influence.
Sure.
He's going to share this on all his socials, so we're going to go viral just from having him with us. But welcome,
Absolutely.
Gordy. How you doing?
Thank you. Great. Talk about being in the right place at the right time. Huh?
Yeah, he just kind of popped in, and we're like, hey, what are you doing? He brought us lunch, so we had no choice.
That's the key.
Gordy, rumor has it that you have a podcast for Login on the horizon.
Yeah. It is going to be called Tucson Stars of Networking, sponsored by Login. I've been networking here in Tucson here for many years, and different networking groups, and I've seen a lot of these big personalities out there.
Yeah.
You've got people that when they walk in the room, they're there, and been networking for a long time, and I'm looking forward to getting them across the table and talk to them about what makes what they do so well.
Yeah.
What they some of the tips and tricks, what you should, what you shouldn't do, things like that.
The title of it, the first thing that pops in my mind is that you're going to be dancing as well. Is that true?
No, that would have been Networking with the Stars.
Oh, Networking with the Stars.
So I did change it up a little bit. It's Stars of Networking.
All right.
Well, I want to know what stars you got lined up, Gordy. Can you give us a hint? Who's coming in?
Let's see here. I do have a preliminary list here. Let's see. I've got. Now I don't want to give away too many of my surprises here.
No.
Give us one.
How about a certain guy with the last name of Tank?
Tank.
You're talking about like the tank, the tree place.
I think
I know you're. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a Tooth Fairy coming up.
Yep.
Okay.
She's awesome.
Yep.
She's awesome.
I've got the voted best car salesperson in Tucson.
Wow.
Okay. You get an all-stars. An all-star.
I got some people lined up. So.
That's pretty cool. I think we're going to have to work on our guest list, Wyatt.
Yeah, absolutely. We already got a couple that are lined up. You got one you want to throw out there?
We just have to outdo Gordy.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a competition.
Okay.
A little bit of a competition.
Okay.
Yeah. There is, you can't hear it, but this guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We know that guy. I know that guy.
This guy.
Yeah, that guy. He's on my wish list, so
Yeah,
if I can get him over eventually.
On the first episode, Wyatt and I talked about some of the trends in network, some of the trends that gave it away, some of the trends in marketing, right? And obviously, one of the biggest trends today is AI and the tremendous amount of content that you could produce with AI, right? But one of the things that we had also mentioned is that despite being able to use that amount of content that you can put out there, you still need to be able to close the deal, right? So I think that's something the three of us we have our own styles. I think the three of us are very good at it, in particular networking to get to that, the close. So let's talk about that a little bit. And Gordy, when you're walking into, you mentioned before, you've been networking in Tucson for years. What are some of the things that you're thinking of when you're walking in there, and what's some advice for somebody who's just moved to Tucson and they're starting a business?
Yeah, I think building relationships is number one. We talked about, you guys mentioned about AI, how you can use it, but it still has a coldness to it yet. You're not building that relationship like you are when you're human to human. I think Wyatt mentioned that one. The other thing is I like to think of is this is all marketing. Networking is marketing. Marketing is renting a little spot in the back of their head, rent free if you can. When they think I need this product or I need this service, who am I going to? Oh yeah, there was the guy that I spoke to last week at the networking, and so that's really where you want to be. You don't necessarily need to sell to the person. Your product or service may not be right for that person, but you can sell through them.
Yeah.
And be memorable. Be that person that they're going to remember. Oh, when a friend asks them, "Hey, I need a plumber. Who you got?"
Right.
Those are the things that you need to remember when you're networking.
And what about yourself, Wyatt? You're going to walk into one of your groups, and what's on your mind, and what do you want to accomplish?
Yeah, you want to have a connection with whoever you're trying to network with, and you're going to lead in with trying to figure out what's important to them. Before, usually you call that an icebreaker of some sort, where you have something to talk about or try to, it's conversational quality, right? Asking questions, the right questions, being interested, and finding a commonality where you can have a jump point, you can jump into it.
Yeah. So after you've established that relationship and the rapport has got to the point where you're actually sitting across the table and you're about to maybe even offer a proposal, what are some of the key points there to make sure that you are going to close that deal?
That's a good question. I think, we call them pain points, right? You're sitting there for a reason. If you were a good listener, taking copious notes, that notebook, you asked really good questions. You had them already scripted before you had a chance to even meet with them. Even if they deviated, you're able to replay back to them in detail because you heard them.
Yeah.
And if you heard them and you replayed it, you're going to get the buy-in. You see it in their body language. You hear it in their tone of voice. You listened. You got it.
Yeah.
Price is always a key, but, if they like you, they trust you, there's an opportunity that they might buy from you. So that's Jeffrey Gitomer. I love his books. Just a good all around way to do it. But that is true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Gordy, same question.
It's like Wyatt mentioned. It's part of your discovery process in finding out what they need. Whether, especially if they came to you, came to you with that issue. One of my big questions I like to ask is, what is the impact of that issue or problem that you need me to solve? I recently had a rehabilitation center come to me. They had some issues with their phone system, with their old analog phone system, and I asked them what the impact was, and for them it was a big deal. He said it's a dangerous situation. Lives are at stake in this situation. So, what do you think the first thing I mentioned when we started talking about closing is, I repeated the fact that lives were, they mentioned lives were at stake, and this is pretty important.
Right.
So it ended up ending up pretty positive. We're getting ready to install a newer system into their facility. So.
Nice. How much, and I want to be delicate when I ask this question. I know Wyatt does this a little bit. I do it a lot. When the meeting's set up, how much do you go online to learn more about them? How much do you troll them on like LinkedIn?
I think I think one of the worst things you can do is walk in and tell me about your business.
Right.
You need to be educated. You need to know what pretty much you need to be kind of a media or a matter expert in what they do. Find out exactly what they do, what the pain points are. And we can go back to AI. I've used this in the past as I've actually asked ChatGPT, what are some of the pain points for this industry? And they'll give you the pain points.
Yeah. What I found is some people, they're on the wrong social platform when they're trying to learn more about me, and they're asking me stuff about, so how was the ball game a couple of weeks ago? And those nachos look great. I'm like, that has nothing to do with my business. You should have been on LinkedIn and learning more about my resume and my past and, see at design studios if you want to close me. Not, how good the nachos were a few weeks ago. That's the wrong, So when I say do a little bit of research online, I would say maybe a little bit on Facebook, but realize that for a lot of small business owners, that's almost kind of an outlet.
Personal outlet.
Yeah.
For me, it is. I use it mostly for personal.
Yeah, and I don't want that being presented to me as a part of a sales process.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Wyatt?
Yeah, 100%. I think one of our shows we're going to talk about LinkedIn and how to use that, how to approach, how to do all that.
Yeah.
Only because I neglected LinkedIn personally for a very long time. I just use it as a resume tool, right? Well, I've been in business for 15 years. And I started taking that thing seriously when I was growing another business internationally. And that's all you had.
Yeah.
You know, it was amazing to me to see that business grow from zero to like a $2 million spread in 1 year.
Wow.
All of it on LinkedIn. Now, say we did some events and whatnot, but the majority was LinkedIn techniques that work. You know, like we're saying, do some research, but let's just say you're trying to connect with a CEO or somebody in the C-suite, and you see that they're not really that, you know, involved with it. You can still learn a lot through their other people. And don't you notice when somebody thumbs up to your post or comments on it, like, wow, they took note of what I shared.
Yeah.
Or even got, I see it happening all the times where you're networking through LinkedIn, not in body, but digitally.
Yeah.
That opens doors and conversations that you wouldn't believe. I mean, I think on this table, you and me sat across from the second largest, I think, pool company in Arizona. And that's all we had to go off of. And, you know, I brought it up. I used it. I was like, oh, obviously you had you did this, and this. And he's like shaking his head.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it felt good that we did the research or took the time.
Yeah.
So you're not sitting there talking about nothing.
Right. And I know that, you know, when you mention, and a lot of people will say that, well, how much does liking and commenting on a post really matter? Since I've been at CS, I've had a handful of the connections that Wyatt is, you know, that I've kind of brought to the table, either message me or through conversation. Hey, Wyatt liked one of my posts. And I'm like, you don't get that giddy when I like one of your posts. What's up with that? But it's noticeable. It's like,
awesome.
you know, and Wyatt, he takes the time to do it, and he'll make a comment. And I get that response a lot from when he does that.
Yeah, I've already in my short time with Login, I've learned a lot from Wyatt here.
Yeah,
on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Helped me step up my LinkedIn game. So it's
Yeah.
definitely improved. A lot of it could use that thumbs up to start a conversation. It all comes down to starting a conversation. You know, if you can start a conversation, even with an employee of that C-suite person, you know, start there and move on up.
Yeah, but as importantly, it's an impression.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
It's an impression. It keeps us as CS Design Studios top of mind. You know, how many people that we know that maybe we don't work with refer work to us because they know us, right?
It happens all the time.
All the time. Yeah. You know, and it's because that little comment, that we're connected on LinkedIn, because I wrote this article about whatever, you know. It's all those impressions consistently that makes us that 1 degree away from so many people.
It's cool that it drives awareness, right? We aren't talking about the networking aspect. It's just a tool that any networking person needs to have that in their back pocket.
Yeah.
The best part is it's free, unless you're paying for Sales Navigator, which is a nice tool to have. And we'll talk about that another time. But you know, you get a lot. I'll just tell us one story. Watched the Netflix special documentary. I was like, you know, I'd really like to ask this person a question. It's a long shot. I threw their name in, paused the Netflix, threw their name in, and they responded back.
Wow.
Industrial Light and Magic, believe it or not.
Wow.
It was like, here's a person that you wouldn't have never known, but it was right there, and reached out to her. I was like, hey, man, awesome job pulling all those creative guys together. You made it happen. And knowing it was just nice to get that, you know. And I've done it over and over again where you have access to a lot of people that you'd get stuck at the gatekeeper.
Right.
You wouldn't even have a chance.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's fun. It's beyond just the business aspect. It's fun. Yeah.
So Gordy, I'm a brand new business owner, brand new entrepreneur. I just moved in from Chicago. Give me 3 bits of advice before I hit the networking trail.
The number one that I would highly recommend is be regular. Be at every event that, you know, if you come in, hey, I've got this great product and service, and then nobody sees you for 3 months, they're going to forget about you. Make it a regularity. I mean, this is on my calendar. I've got every third Thursday, I'm going to be at this networking. This is my networking day. However you want to do it, make it regular. That's really the biggest thing that I would say. The other thing is, I guess once you start networking, is introduce people to other people. There's one gentleman that I'm going to have on my show he's great at, hey, I want you to meet this person over here, and he's great at making those connections to where you don't even have to go up and say hi to him, and he'll get you somebody to talk to. So I really enjoyed that that person.
You got one more. Ask for 3, Gordy.
Man, one more.
No pressure. No pressure.
Oh boy. Come back around in just a minute here. Give me a second here.
I got one.
Okay.
I got one.
Let's hear it.
Network where your time is necessary. A lot of us, when I first got started, I was in the wrong networking groups, where they weren't my clients. I was networking because I liked the people, but it wasn't my ideal set of clients. There's some, I'm not going to, name them, but who they are in particular, but it's some networking groups. It's just, if your clients if it's not the right fit, don't waste your time. Right, so it's got to be the right group, I think.
Yeah, but and I guess this would be my number 3 would be, and I mentioned it earlier. Don't sell to the person, sell through the person. If they can't help you, they got to know somebody who can help you, who you can help.
Yeah. So
I got to chime in on this one. So I'll say that there are groups that you have to pay to be a part of.
Absolutely,
it's an It's an investment. Like Gordy's saying, you're going to invest your time, and the mindset is a giving mindset.
Right.
I'm going there to give something, not to get. First. You give first, it comes back to you. And I'll just say that there's a couple groups I love being a part of, and it has come full circle. And it doesn't take long either.
Yeah.
Especially if you're bringing something of value, and especially what we do. Who isn't need help with technology? Marketing is selling technology to some degree, whether it's telephony or it's online advertising or whatever. Yeah, there's plenty to do to help others, and just recognizing how those dots get connected is by giving first.
Yeah, that's a great intro to how can I help you, as opposed to you know any customers that might need my service.
Yeah.
Oh, how can I help you?
Yeah. How valuable is it to spend your time amongst maybe on the board of a nonprofit?
I think I enjoy it. I'm on the board of 2 right now, and I think it's a way to networking. One is a little bit more towards the industry that I'm in. The other one I kind of fell in love with. It's a senior living type of networking group that I kind of fell in love with that whole industry. The people there are amazing. These people that have these homes that rent out 10 beds in their home and run these facilities. I don't know how they do it. They're laughing in the morning and crying in the evening, but yet every time you see them, they have a smile on their face, and they're the friendliest, nicest people. They have a heart of gold, and they're doing it not to get rich, not to make $1 million. They're doing it to really just to help people.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell in love with that industry, but I believe that it's a way of doing good. So, you're going to feel good about what you do. You're going to feel good about the people you're networking with. It's a nonprofit, so anything you do is going to help.
Yeah.
And it's a good way to get your name out there as well.
Yeah. Any last words of wisdom, Wyatt?
Oh, man, this is such a great topic of networking, folks. Learn from people that are doing it. Get out of your comfort zone. Try different things. Read like mad. Watch YouTube videos, learn how to do it. There's so many vehicles now to get good at it, but you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. If you're not, don't force yourself. I would say find your passion. What are you good at? And then if you start doing it, you're going to get good at it. And then what? So there it is.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's been a tremendous episode too, guys. What do you guys think?
Fantastic. I love it.
Was it a winner?
Yes, sir.
If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the CS Design Studios channel. You could hear this podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and about 4 or 5 other platforms. Tell your friends, like it, share it. Give us some comments, some good, bad, and the ugly, what you like about this. And as importantly as anything, tell us what you want to learn about that we could help you out with, right? We already have a slew of topics that we do want to cover on this podcast, but we want to make sure that it's right, and it's something that could help you and your business grow. So, Gordy, thank you.
Thank you.
We look
It's been a
forward to
pleasure.
assisting you with your podcast coming around the
appreciate
corner.
it. Yes,
We'll be helping
exciting.
you debut that and promote that as well. Wyatt, thank you as well. This was cool. See you next time.
Thank you for tuning in to the Marketing Corner. Follow us on Facebook or visit us at csdesignsstudios.com today.